It's totally different. I think the coaches now, they have a better understanding of what they really want to do and how to attack defenses. So you see defenses right now totally different from what they were years ago because it is so different. They spread you out right now. You see more three down. You see more pressure across this country right now, trying to find ways to attack these offenses and get them behind the sticks. One of the main things you see across this country, a lot of four down with quarters and press. I think Michigan State, one of the better defenses across this country over the past 10 years, they load the box and they dare you to throw the football because now they're going to blitz you. So the corners are always in a press situation. You look at the University of Oregon, their corners always in a press situation. They're a heavy pressure team and a heavy three-down team. So you see two thought processes on how to defend the offense over quarters or three-down and pressure.
Vince, what about your secondary? How do you feel your secondary is equipped to face all of this?
I look at this offense, and you always have to start up front. If you have four down guys or three down guys that can handle the run, you can now put more guys in the coverage. The majority of people across this country, they're going to play some form of zone because the receivers are so good right now. I mean, you look at guys 6'2" to 6'4", they running 4.5s to 4.4s, and most corners not going to match up with that. The best corners right now are point guards on basketball teams saying they're going to the NBA. You need to get some of those guys off the basketball court and get them back on the football field and play defensive backs for us. But it is difficult. And you try to find different ways to attack the quarterback, whether it's pressure, whether it's two deep, whether it's quarters, whether it's three deep. So you have to mix it up to try to confuse quarterbacks. And hopefully the quarterback will make some mistakes in your favor and throw you the ball and you can make a play.
So your evaluation of your defense against Rice, how would you put it?
Missed sack after missed sack after missed sack after missed sacks. We had 7 missed sacks. If you make those plays, you would probably take 150 yards off the total yardage. You would take 14 points off in the first half. Yeah, you look at that game last week, we get an interception. My man gets so excited he comes out of the end zone. It's 21-0. Imagine if he takes it in the end zone. There's a good chance that Rice might not get 14 points. So the defense has to go right back out there, and they have 14 unanswered points. You look at the missed sacks, that's going to put you in second down and 25, second down and 19. Now it's an advantage to you. Instead, you're sitting at third down and 6, third down and 5, which an offense would like to be in. So we make those plays on the quarterback, we've been in good shape. You look at the third touchdown, we had 3 guys miss that quarterback. But prior to that, we had them second down and 20, and then we had a hands to the face. I mean, so it's things that we can correct by execution, by being fundamentally sound, that can get us off the football field.
Is that your biggest frustration from this sacks, or is there something bigger from 2 games?
It's a combination of both. The missed sacks was one ball game. It's execution. I mean, last week we got a third down and 12, and we jumped a 8-yard route. They throw it behind us for a first down. Those are things we tried to clean up from the first ball game. You go back to the first ball game, as we talked earlier, third down and 15, third down and 12, we have guys jumping 6-yard routes. So we have to get past that. I mean, the simple thing is get to the sticks and break back forward. Then you need to tackle. Tackle and knock guys back instead of being run over, let them fall forward for a first down.
What's a good game against Cal? I mean,
Ooh.
I'm not going to shock them in.
I've looked at every game from last season. USC might have been the only team that really physically dominated that team. I mean, otherwise than that, I mean, it's a scoring fest. I mean, they losing games 50-48. They losing games 35-33. Not many people slowed them down. Stanford slowed them down because they ran the football, old ground chuck, old-fashioned football that kept them on the sideline. Arizona had 105 plays. BYU had 106 plays because both teams are up-tempo, and they keep going back out there. And you give, my man, this quarterback an opportunity now. I mean, it's not a lot of fun to be defending this guy. Like, again, I said, I think he's one of the best quarterbacks I've ever faced in college football.
Vince, but you guys as a staff, though, you got to like maybe the odds this year, because last year, Baylor, TCU, y'all held up really well first half, 3 quarters. Just defense ran out of gas. Because the offense wasn't running. If you mix that with an offense that gets first downs, you feel like y'all are okay? Or?
Winning is always about team. It's about, number one, getting off the field, which we're doing a very poor job of right now. Number two, the offense staying on the field. That means converting third downs. I mean, if we both improve in those areas, then the sky's the limit for us. We both have to improve on third down. The offense converting third downs and us keeping the opponent from converting third downs. Because you think about this, if we can stop people on third down, we shorten the field. In the NFL, they always say this: if you have 4 3-and-outs, that's like a turnover. In other words, you are shortening the field for your offense. Right now, we're not doing that on defense. We're not helping the offense out at all. We're not helping the team win ball games at this time.
Vance, I know you faced Bortles when you were at Louisville. How different is a spread offense at this level when you've got an NFL caliber guy who's pulling the trigger back there?
Bortles was a different type quarterback. Prior to the spread, he also played on the center. He played in conventional offense. He played in West Coast concept, along with being now in shotgun running spread offense. The passing game right now at Cal is really a West Coast concept, what Coach Watson has been running for the past several years. You see a lot of precise routes, the ball out quick, a lot of play-action pass. You see some boots and nakeds and sprint outs, and a quarterback that can make every throw. When you watch their receivers play, they play full speed every snap because they know they can get the football. A lot of spread teams, sometimes backside, the guys are jog because why are they not getting the ball? It's a chance to rest. And that's how a lot of receivers in the spread concept get rest. These guys here, they are full speed every single snap. So as a defensive back, you never get a break.
That said, the Lascos can run the ball too. How much of a danger does he pose?
Well, you have to defend it all. Their offensive line, they're big, they're physical, they're athletic, and the things they do makes these guys look like All-Americans sometimes. I look at the first 2 ball games. I mean, they're knocking guys off the ball, they're knocking them down, the backs finding holes. I mean, right now, I don't see any holes in Cal's offense at all. The only hole you can find in Cal offense is if your offense can keep on the sideline. Then you got a chance.
Vance, do you know Mike Perrin? Did you meet him today, the interim athletic director? Did you know him previously?
I didn't know him previously. He was here before I was here. He played, late 60s, early 70s with Bill Bradley. And I got here in 77, so I really don't know him. We had a chance to, as a staff, the entire department, to meet him. He spoke to the staff today. And you could tell he has a great love for this university, playing here, graduating from here. And I think the program is in good hands. And it's just a wait and see. I wish him the best in the things he does, because whatever he does benefits the entire athletic department.
One of the biggest things he talked about was trying to get the butts in the seats, and how concerned he is on that front.
Well, as you all know, when you win, they come. That hasn't changed. You would hope that because of, if you have a true love for the University of Texas, the football program, win, lose, or draw, you want them in the seats. And the more exciting things are football-wise for the fans, they show up. I mean, fans are the same all across this country. You wish you could say that we have the best fans in the country. I go back to coaching the NFL when Green Bay wasn't the Green Bay of the day. They sold out. They were there before the game. You go to the University of Nebraska, I've never seen fans that before the game, after the game, want to shake your hand, whether they won or lost. They were in the seats. Whether they were good or bad, they were in the seats. And we need to get to that point where the University of Texas fans, the Longhorn fans, the True Blood, the Orange Blood, the hook 'em, let's go, no matter what happens, you're in that seats. The tickets are sold. If you don't want to come to the game, donate your tickets. Let's get fans in the seats. Let's get fans that's going to make this place difficult for the opponent. I coach in the Big Ten. You go to Penn State, 100,000 people in the seats. You go to Wisconsin, now they're going to drink a lot of beer and have a lot of brats. They in the seats. I believe we're serving beer right now. Why? I don't know. I don't like beer. I don't drink beer. But if they want it, let's have fans in the seats.
What did he tell you guys this morning?
About who he is and what he's all about, his love for the university, playing for Darryl Raw, and Darryl Raw taught the fundamentals. They taught young men how to become young men. on and off the football field. If you were a player for Darryl Roy, you were another coach on the field. Why? Because they were taught the fundamentals of how to play the football game. And he taught the entire staff. We had everyone there from every sport, from our people at the front desk here, everyone in our department, they were there today. And he did a great job. And I think he's going to be an outstanding leader for this program.
Vance, does an athletic director mean anything on the recruiting trail?
Yes, it does.
Really?
You need his support. You know, as a football staff, basketball staff, women or men, basketball, soccer, you know, you need to have a guy that's supporting your program and saying the things that what this program is all about. This program is about treating young men and young women to be the best they can be, to earn degrees, and at the same time have a successful athletic program in every sport. And those are things that he talked about today, and that's what you want to hear.
Who's your weekly quarterback comparison? This week it's golf.
This is Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers played at Cal. This guy's a real deal now. He can throw into tight windows. He can go through his entire progression, first, second, and come to his third guy. Most college quarterbacks can't do this. This young man is exceptional. He's exceptional.
Vance,
I think you guys are even up about 38 yards per drive. Does that concern you that teams are able to get chunk plays right now and they're able to stay on the field?
Oh, it's no doubt. I mean, it's across this country. If you're a defensive coach and you can get people in third down and 7+, you should be in great shape. We played decent first and second down defense to get to third and 7+ and not getting off the football field. And that is a concern of ours right now. That's a concern of all the defensive coaches and Coach Strong and our players. We need to execute and get off the field. We get them to second down and 8, now it's third down and 7. I mean, you're in a good position as a defense, and right now we're just not getting the job done. I mean, there's no excuse about it. We're not getting the job done. It's just that simple.
Vance, the fact that Steve Patterson's gone, does that worry like you and Charlie since he's the AD that brought y'all here?
I'm just an assistant coach. I come to work, you know, I answer to Coach Strong and to the AD and to the president. And I have one job to do is do the very best I can of developing these young men to be the best they can be on and off the football field. That's my responsibility to them, to their parents, and to the University of Texas.
Vance, Bryson Eccles missed last game, Deshaun Elliott was still out, and then we saw Devontae Davis, leave during the game. What's the status on those three guys?
Devontae is set and ready to go. Eccles is back. He's at practice for a go. Deshaun, he hadn't played this year, so he's still doing some work to get back as quick as he possibly can.
Three last ones for Vance.
Obviously, Malik scored that touchdown, but Chris Boyd's kind of the one that put the fear in, it seemed like, in that running back. Can you talk about the job he's done, not just on special teams, but trying to get in the mix of
He's a guy that believes that he should be starting, which I love. That's what you want out of a defensive back. He wants to be out there. And he's going through some learning curves right now. He had a touchdown thrown on him. His head was down, and he was mad at himself because he really believes in himself, which he needs to do. I said, that's part of playing. You're doing some on-the-job training. And you hope at the University of Texas you don't have many guys that should be doing on-the-job training. We come back in the third quarter, we have Chris Boyd, he's starting. Holton Hill goes out there in the games and on the line, he's playing. Everybody know about Malik. You have Charles Menahue, he's playing early. Ed, the other linebacker, he's playing quite a bit. At one point in time, I think we had 7 freshmen, a redshirt freshman playing in the third quarter, and the game was not over. And that's where we are right now. So we have to build depth with young guys, and you're going to get burned a few times. You have to go through some growing pains. And are we happy about that? No. But that's where we are. And that's trying to develop young guys and give us some depth. And the biggest thing is this, you want to go out with it saying we're going to win every ball game, but when we get to conference play, those guys got to be experienced. They got to be ready to go. We have to start 2 or 3 of those guys. Well, this is what the Cal and the Rice and Notre Dame gets you ready for. It gets you ready for the Oklahoma State. It gets you ready for TCU. Because the most important thing is when you get to conference play, that the best guys are out there and they all have experience.
The Rice quarterback kind of had Malik
grasping at air a few times.
A few times. Yeah, I thought the man was Houdini. I mean, one time we had 3 guys had him surrounded, and they all 3 missed, and he scrambled for 10 yards. He made us all look bad. One time on the sideline, Ed is unblocked, a clean shot. He missed him. He goes for 15 yards, scrambling for another first down. And those are the situations we talked about, the missed tackles and those type of things.
So I guess he's glad to have a more pocket passer this week, I guess.
You'd be surprised how well this young man runs. He didn't have to,
Yeah.
but when he wants to pull it down, he's actually pretty good. He's gonna stay in the pocket. He's gonna make the throws. He does not hold the football at all. He knows where to go with the football. He knows what coverage you're in. He gets rid of the ball. He's gonna move the sticks. If you're in 3rd down and 6, it's not a good situation to be in because he's been pretty good this season.
Vance,
Last one.
Charlie was talking on Monday about not winning enough battles at defensive end right now. Do you look at a move like maybe moving Blewett back from tight end or make some personnel? What do you do at the end right now?
Caleb played a few, I think 6 or 7 snaps for us at defensive end versus Rice. But right now, we have enough depth. Caleb needs to get his mind set on being the best tight end he could be to help this football team win right now. But we have some other guys that are in position to help us out. They just got to turn it loose. First 2 ball games, they were worried about a scrambling quarterback. We played tentative. We can't play that way. We need to turn it loose, let it go, and see what happens. It's like riding on a roller coaster. Throw your hands up in the air, wave them around like you just don't care. That's what we have to do, so let's go turn it loose. I know you guys love that. Me too. That's why it's a beautiful day every single day.